What's up, everybody? We are back on Pound for Pound. I am the Nigerian Nightmare, Kamaru Usman.
Henry Cejudo, a.k.a. Triple C.
A Shadow Line production.
And Henry, a big week coming up. UFC 316, as it is pronounced. 316. It's a stat card. Dvalishvili versus O'Malley 2. You see how I got that last name? You see how I finally pulled that out? Got it right? Yeah.
Bravo.
O'Malley 2. And let's not forget co-main event of the evening. Two-time champion Julianna Peña taking on, do we say America's sweetheart? Do we say one of the most dangerous women right now in Kayla Harrison, who is on the mission? But Henry, this is your division. O'Malley and Dvalishvili happening again, man. What's up? How you feeling about that?
O'Malley and Merab, Dvalishvili. I think it's total domination from a guy like Merab's side. You know what I'm saying? Like you could train for styles like Sean, but could you train for guys like Merab? And I think that's harder. I think it's harder to find guys that could really mix the fighting and do the whole nine. I just don't know if Sean spent enough money in his fight camp, and if he really brought the proper partners. Because a lot of times when he does fight, he just uses people in Arizona, and that's not always the best case, best scenario. Yeah. So,
all right, now Henry, we're gonna go through a whole our picks of and just the breakdowns of how we feel about these matchups. But before we get into that, Henry, quick little update. You was out there out of the country once again doing what Henry Cejudo Triple C's things. What were you doing in Kazakhstan, Henry?
Man, I was out in Kazakhstan. Honestly, dude, I was there for an appearance. And then all of a sudden they're like, hey, Henry, please do an exhibition. Please compete. And I'm just like, man, like I'm my eye's still not good. Like I'm still not 100% of my eye, but I'm
need the money.
Exactly. And then once I saw them Benjamins, I'm just like, where, who, and where? What is it? Who, where, and what time? So I ended up competing against this guy by the name of Kairat. He's the one championship champ right now, and he was from Kazakhstan. Obviously, I'm the U.S. I'm the American, but it's ironic, bro. Like I've been to Russia, Iran. I have never seen more fanatic fans than the Kazakhstani people, bro. Kazakhstan people are really, truly number one. You will never get this.
Wait. Now, was that quick question? You said the champ. Was he a wrestler or was he an MMA fighter?
He's an MMA fighter, but he has background on everything, man. He's actually really good. He was a guy that Demetrius Johnson was supposed to fight prior to retiring. I think he would have really give Demetrius a run for his money.
Now, I got that little reference you just made. There's two different countries. Let's just work on the geography here. There's Kazakhstan. Is there also Kyrgyzstan? Is that what it is called?
Yeah, Kyrgyzstan's another one. That's where Valentina's from. So Valentina's from Kyrgyzstan.
Oh, okay.
And then there's Tajikistan. So there's a lot of.
Of course, we know Tajikistan. So Kazakhstan, is that? I'm guessing that's what you're saying with all these fanatic fans. I'm guessing that's the area where Shavkat's from.
Exactly, bro. I can see why Shavkat doesn't go out, bro. Doesn't come out. Like these dudes are so fanatics, bro. I have never seen people rave about mixed martial arts like I did in Kazakhstan. I've been everywhere, bro, from Brazil to Mexico, obviously here in the U.S., but in Kazakhstan, it's different, man. It is so different. This is why whenever anybody's beefing with Shavkat, if you notice, like, look at all those fans that are always throwing out those Kazakhstan flags. I'm like, Jesus Christ, dude, if I was Kazakhstani, I'd probably have half a billion followers.
Yeah,
but they took care of me overall. Like it
I could
was
tell.
so many rules changed, bro. Throughout, I even had a couple beers before I went because I knew some shit was about to go down. I didn't get to change the rules in the last minute, but look at me there. Look at me celebrate. Look at my Russian dance.
Yeah, I seen it. You were doing your thing.
Yeah.
It looked like they treated you well because I mean, every video you got out, every video you were in, it looked like you were walking in slow mo. I think that was purposeful. You felt like a king based on how they treated you out there.
But you know what, Kamaru? Can I tell you something? I think
Yeah,
this is how fighters should be treated, bro. Like
of
honestly,
course.
not these freaking soccer players, Ronaldo, Messi. Hell no. I talk to Mike Tyson all the time about this stuff. I remember asking Mike Tyson one time. It's like, hey Mike, who do you look up to, man? What do you think of Michael Jordan? He's like, has he ever laced up them gloves? You know the guys that I look up to is guys like you, guys that leave it on the line. And I'm just like, damn. All right, it makes sense. It makes sense. But this is how we should be treated in the world. We should be making NFL, NBA, that type of money, cause where we put our bodies and everything to. Like, I don't know, man. It just made me think. It just makes you think how even though we are famous, it's more of kind of like more of that celebrity status. Like, dude, I walk. If I told you the amount of money, I don't want to say it here, but I made a whole lot of money. I made a lot of presents. Like, I made enough money for the year to survive, dude. That's how much money they gave me.
Wow. Okay. So you just gonna snitch on yourself right here on the pod while Uncle Sam is watching, huh? That's how you. Yeah. Okay. Do what you
Got
do.
him, got him.
I guess you like sharing. So hey, sharing is caring, right? So do what you do.
Sharing is caring.
But Henry, I'm glad you had a great time. It looked fun. It looked like a tremendous time out there. Yeah,
Yeah,
but
but yeah, no, but forget about me, Kush. You are literally a few weeks out from your bout, bro. Is it a few weeks or a couple weeks now?
couple weeks. Yeah, just a
A
couple
couple
weeks.
weeks out. So you're talking about not wow, a couple weeks out, Kush. Dude,
Literally 2 weeks.
how's training camp going, bro? I noticed you've been posting a lot of videos. Training with Justin Gaethje. You've been talking about getting beat up in fight camp. Tell me a little bit, man. How's your fight camp coming?
Fight camp is good. Yeah, you're right. I've been training with Justin. He comes in and gives me rounds, which is it's great. Obviously, everyone knows my relationship with Justin. We're like brothers in how we approach the game. And when he's in camp, I'm definitely getting back here to put some hands on him, and he returns the favor when I'm in camp. So they've definitely been pushing me. Justin, Archie Kogan, these guys have I had also my Cuban a friend come out to help me. Angel Alvarez come out to help me as well. So we've been putting in a lot of work, and I like it. Henry, you got. It's almost like you got to get beat up. You got to. It's almost like you build a false sense of confidence when you're not pushed to the brink of you actually feeling what it's like to win and lose, and feel that. So no, I've enjoyed every moment of it. It's a great thing about being here is Trevor and all my coaches. They really know how to get me to peak at the right time and prepare. So it is what it is. I'm starting to get excited. You're starting to get that excitement of wow, it's about having a couple weeks. So I'm excited. I can't wait. And soon enough, I'll be climbing in there.
Damn, that's crazy, Kush. And you're doing a 5 rounder, bro. I know what that feels like. So, if
Of
you
course, I
if
love
you
those.
if you simulated those fights correctly, dude, and you're able to really, embrace the moment. You know what I'm saying? Call Buck Dog's bluffs. I think he'll be all right, dude. Your defense should always be number one. I always tell that to people. Keep your fucking hands up. A good base where you're defensive but also offense too, to where you're able to do it. And shit, best of luck, dude, on that.
Yeah, you'll be good. You'll be
I
good
don't
too.
envy the
Sure.
shit that you've gone through these last couple months, bro. Fuck.
Yeah, it's and this is what makes it all worth it. So June 14th at the State Farm Arena in ATL, Georgia is going down. You know, Atlanta, that's like, hey, that's like a second Africa right there. You know what I mean? So we
Hotlanta.
gonna be in the building. You been to Atlanta with me. You seen it.
You
Yeah.
remember? You remember what happened in Atlanta?
Yep. Israel Adesanya became the interim champion.
I'm talking about the after party, but sure.
I don't remember that, but
Triple C don't discriminate, young brother.
Henry, now let's take a quick break to thank our sponsor for this episode, Tastemade. Henry, you know how fight camp is. All you're doing is training, sparring, working out, and of course, recovering. And there's really no time to meal prep or cook for myself. Meal planning, of course, is not my favorite part of camp at all.
For sure, Kamaru, traveling, training, and having two kids at home who are always hungry, and it's tough. But thanks to TasteMate Plus, they make meal prepping super easy.
That's right, guys. Henry and I got hooked up with Tastemade Plus personalized meal planner. That means we get step-by-step recipe videos, easy recipe swaps, and auto-generated grocery lists based on our meal plans.
We had the Chipotle style chicken burrito bowl the other night, and guess what? It was so delicious. Have you tried that one yet, Kamaru?
That sounds good, Henry, but have you tried Frankie's Green Goddess chopped salad? Taste Made Plus has changed the game in my kitchen.
You guys already know the Triple C looks good in the ring, but I look even better in the kitchen. Who would have known, Kamaru? And that,
Pause.
and that can be you too. Try TasteMade Plus completely free for 7 days right now at tastemade.com/P4P. As a listener, you'll get 40% off your first year, cancel anytime, and guess what? No pressure.
Now, Henry, let's get back to the episode. But Henry, let's before we get to June 14th in ATL, Georgia, let's talk about June 7th, UFC 316 going down, Dvalishvili versus O'Malley 2, and of course, Peña versus Kayla Harrison. Man, it's a good card. It's a really good card, you know. So of course we want to get down to these main card fights, and I want a little bit more from you, Henry, on why you think so and so guy is gonna get the job done. But before we go, before we get there, there's a couple fights on the prelim that I really want to highlight here. You know, we've got the number 4 guy, a heavyweight in Sergey Spivak fighting Waldo Acosta. Now, I don't know, Henry, if you've seen these guys fight. Sergey Spivak has looked dang good. There's a switch that flipped, but he's looked good. He pressures a lot of guys, puts a lot of pressure on guys, and he goes out there and he either gets the finish or he gets finished in the pursuit of getting the finish. And Acosta, yeah, he's put together a nice little win streak, but I feel like he's more of a boxer, a clean boxer to me. So in a fight like this, I'm thinking Sergey Spivak is getting back on the horse here. What you think, Henry?
Yeah, no, for sure. But then think about it too, man. Acosta, he's on a four fight win streak, man, and he's got crazy power in his hands. I know he's Dominican descent. I want to say he lives out here in AZ. So this is he's got five fights in the UFC. 4 of them he has won. He has TKO people. He's won by decision too. So let you know that he could go to decision too. He's not just a power guy. But I just feel like Spivak is too experienced. He's gone with the Cyril Gane. He's gone with he obviously he's
Pretty much
lost.
everyone.
Yeah, he's fought the who's, and I just feel like he's gonna pull out the bag of tricks and maybe use some of that grappling. And I think when he uses some of that grappling, like man with with the Costa, I just don't know if a big dude when he gets you down submits you if he has those capabilities.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if I had to pick here, I'm going to go with Spivak. I think Spivak definitely is a little bit more well-rounded and aggressive enough to maybe cause Acosta to make a mistake. Even though Acosta, I think, has great hands, great boxing. But I'm going to go with Spivak. Who you going with?
Yeah, I'm gonna agree with you. I'm gonna go with Spivak as well.
Well, another one on the prelims, Henry, that I really want to talk about, highlight, is, my dog from, H-Town and everything. Joshua Van taking on your boy, Bruno
Yeah.
Silva. Who Bruno is, of
Is
course.
he from Houston?
Yeah, he down there out there H-Town, man. You know how he be, man.
Oh, so
Yeah.
he's American. So why did these dudes? I thought he was from somewhere. I
What
thought he
was
was
you
from.
trying to say?
No, I thought
He looked Chinese. He looks Asian. Is that what you said?
no, I thought that dude was literally a foreigner because he be coming out with a different flag. So, but now that I know he's American, I mean, he has some resources, but he's also going up against Bruno Silva, my training partner. Somebody that I've spent a lot of time. I mean, Bruno prior to losing to Manel Kopp, he was on a 4-fight win streak, 4 freaking bonuses, 4 finishes, man. And then obviously he went up against Manel Kopp, and even that fight was really good.
Yeah.
If Bruno de Silva can keep his composure, he beats Joshua Van because he's more technical. He's got more tools than Joshua Van. But it's to me, it's all up to Bruno. If Bruno can withstand that pressure, the high low with Joshua, because Joshua Van's got one plan, and that's to knock that's to knock your freaking face off. To knock you the hell out cold. Like he doesn't have he's in a sprawling brawl pretty much. So if Bruno de Silva can keep that composure and fight, use his angles, then that victory is his. But if he stays in the pocket with Joshua Van and loses his composure, Joshua Van's that type of flyweight that can put you out.
So who you picking?
I gotta go with my boy Bruno de Silva. That shouldn't even be a question, Kush. Are you kidding me,
Right.
dude? Who do you think I got?
I
Who do you
feel
think
you.
do I got you or Buckley? Do I got you or Bug Dog in Atlanta?
Hey, you got who you got.
I
No,
mean, not putting
I
my
mean,
money, I'll think about it, but
you're right. We take nothing away from Bruno. Bruno is definitely very talented and good, but it's I just think based on kind of like the recent fights and the type of opponents, Joshua Van is ultra aggressive, and not just ultra aggressive. He's good. He's good at sprawling, getting back up if he does get taken down, and he's good at putting a combination together, whether he's going to touch your body, whether he's going to touch your head. He's very good at it. He's building momentum. Like you see all these fights, the last couple of fights have been decisions, unanimous decisions, but there's a reason for that because guys don't want to stay in there with him. Guys don't want to fight him. So guys end up running away from him the whole time, and it makes the fight a little boring. Bruno Silva is not a guy that's going to run away. Bruno is going to mix it up. Bruno is going to not be afraid of those exchanges. So I think it's going to make for a banging fight. I will say, though, Bruno definitely is seasoned on the ground to where I think he might be able to maybe catch something when they do get into those scramble positions. But the hard thing is going to be getting there to those scramble positions. Right now, I think Joshua Van, my Burmese H-Town dog, I think I think his sprawl and brawl right now in those lighter weight classes in the UFC is amongst the best right now. So I'm going to have to go with Joshua Van for this one, for his 4th straight victory.
really? So he's going for his 4th. I know he lost to Charles Johnson, and he's won. Oh, okay, so he's won 3 since
Boom, boom,
then.
boom. Since then, putting it together.
Wow, this dude is active, dude.
Yeah,
And then he's
yeah,
fighting
and
again. I like that. I respect that.
yeah. Well, Henry, let's move on to the main card. I mean, this is a really good main card. I think Newark, New Jersey is going to be getting a damn good card. Starting off that main card, first fight, you got my boy, the silent assassin, Vincente Vincino, as I like to call him, Vicente Luque,
Vincenzo.
taking on Kevin Holland. I feel like this is a fight that I feel like has happened, or a fight that should have happened a while ago, but it hasn't happened. And Henry, I'm gonna let you go first. How you feeling?
But
What you
right
think
away,
about
I
this?
mean, think about it. I mean, the height advantage goes to Kevin Holland. They're similar in age. You know what I'm saying. Obviously, the reach advantage is more to Kevin Holland. But dude, I just feel like Vicente Luque is a problem, bro. Like he's a real technical fighter, man. I think sometimes I'm mind boggled with the fact that he loses because he's so technical. He knows how to mix his fighting. I mean, the way that he knocked out Garumbo, the way that he finished him, hurts him, and then boom, dives him straight to a front cover and eventually submits him. But he's fought the who's. I mean, obviously he lost to Buckley. He lost to like Neil Magny, which surprised me. But I feel like he's got more tools in his box. I feel like his hands are good. They could match up to that. He could potentially take down Kevin Holland, and I do believe that he has the ability to actually submit Kevin Holland. So for that reason, Kush, I gotta go with the Argentinian, Brazilian, American Vicente Luque. That dude is. I got a chance to get to know him. That dude is a real. He truly does represent three countries. I think he was Chilean, Brazilian, and American, dude.
Yes.
He's lived in all countries, so he's about the only guy that I could say is legit.
Yeah.
Can represent any flag.
Absolutely. You know, Chilean, dad's from Chile, mom's Brazilian, you know, grew up out here in the East Coast in the US. Vicente is, you know, great guy, training partner, guy I love so much, I care so much about. This is it's a dang good fight, especially UFC know what they do and how they open up the card because they know that's a banging. Those are two guys that are gonna bring it. Kevin Holland always brings it, whether he wins, whether he loses. This is why the UFC continues to give him fights and put him on these cards because he's just a guy that's gonna bring it and doesn't necessarily care. Well, I mean, I'm sure he cares whether he wins or not, but he's gonna go out there each and every time and leave it out there. So. Vicente coming off that win off the last one, I'm looking for him to build on that win and push himself forward. So I'm also going to go with Vicente here. I think he might be if it goes down to the ground, Vicente is able to sink in the choke. It's very rare for people to defend that choke. So he put me in that a couple times. So I'm going to go with Vicente Luque. Now moving on to your favorite guy on the card, Henry Cejudo, Mario Bautista, taking on Patchy Mix, the new addition to that bantamweight division in the UFC. Henry, I'm gonna sit back and let you go ahead and do your thing. Go ahead.
Yeah, it's like this, man. Like Bautista, like he's a decision fighter, and he's nitty gritty. I think his biggest strength is he's got grit in him. You know what I'm saying? He doesn't necessarily have a crazy finishing rate or anything like that, but a guy like Patchy Mix who has fought the best of Bellator, bro, like he's beating people that really surprised me. I remember counting him. I didn't think he was gonna beat Kyoji Haraguchi. Not only did he beat him, but he actually freaking dominated him. I mean, him, you know, defeating Magomedov, dude, twice. Sergio Bettis stopped him. That freaking crazy knee where he won the $1 million when he finished Stotts. I mean, bro, this dude is a problem, bro. I do believe that he's a couple fights away from fighting for the championship, and I do feel like Patchy Mix is a future champion. I don't take that stuff lightly. I think the only ones that I could potentially see, giving Patchy a problem is maybe Umar Nurmagomedov. But I would love to, if he gets past Mario Bautista, which I believe he will, I would love to see him fight Corey Sandhagen. And I think the winner of that fight should fight for the title. What do you think, Kush? Is my matchmaking skills good, or what's up?
I disagree. As far as your take on this fight, I think is a great take on the fight. I think Bautista is very tough, gritty, and is going to do what it takes to win the fight. But I think Patchy Mix takes that up a notch to where Patchy Mix is going to be looking for a way to finish that fight each and every time. Whether it's with the striking, he has dangerous knees, or if you go down to the ground, he's looking for submissions all the time. So I'm going to go with Patchy Mix on that. I do agree with you, Henry. I do think Patchy Mix is a couple fights away from fighting for that title, but he makes himself very, very visible if he goes out there and gets this finish against Bautista. But I mean,
so what are you saying? So are you saying?
No, Sandhagen absolutely is next for that title. I mean, it's Sanhagen hasn't fought Merab, and
He
I
hasn't. He
mean,
hasn't. He hasn't. But because they didn't give him, I agree with you. But
but
because
look at the Sanhagen. Look what Sanhagen has done to his opponents in his last 5 fights. Sanhagen is look what he just did to former champion.
now you might want me to. You may want me to maybe rewind that
Hey,
and show you that Rob Font fight, so you don't. You know,
yeah. What did you go? What about that?
it was a
You're talking
snooze.
about. You're
It
talking
was a
about. You're
snooze fest.
talking
I
about.
get you, Kamaru.
Okay, but you're talking about you're talking about ultra aggressive striker in Corey Sanhagen blows out his bicep, I believe, but then turns into a wrestler, a guy that was taken down and submitted, but then turns into a wrestler now and gets to win by wrestling. If that doesn't show you evolution, I don't know what does. I mean, Corey Sanhagen, I believe it's a short line. Corey Sanhagen 100% is next in line for that title. I do think, though, if Peter Yan wants to fight, I do think Patchy Mix and Peter Yan could be a great next fight.
Peter already has a.
He has
Peter
an
already.
opponent?
Yeah, he already has a fight. He's fighting Marcus McGee.
Okay. Well, that's a if Marcus well, here's the thing. If Marcus McGee wins that fight, Patchy Mix, Marcus McGee, hey, to see who's right there. But I do think Corey has done enough to kind of set himself apart from the pack right now. Slightly, not a lot, but slightly has set himself apart to where I think he waits for that next title shot.
Really? So,
So
hold on. I'm confused. You talking about Corey or you talking about Patchy? I'm confused. Come on.
Corey Sanhagen has done enough to kind of set himself apart a little bit from the
Yeah,
pack.
yeah, for sure.
So
I think he could beat Merab. I truly do, man. I think he has
so
all the
I think
tools, bro. I
yeah,
think if Merab can't control him on bottom, Corey's just gonna keep getting up, and then his striking, bro. His striking's different. It's more vicious than anybody's ever fought, including Peter Yan. You know, like
I agree.
Corey has sharp knees and certain things that could cut you and really put you in a bad position. But the only
I tell you
but
Corey beat me up one time.
yeah, dude, it's all skill, dude. It's all skill.
The first time.
If you don't take down Corey Sanhagen, he's gonna hurt you on his feet. And obviously, I do remember you telling me, but that's just part of the game, dude. Like the dude's your size, 135 pounds.
Yeah, the first time I came to Denver, this was years ago. And I'm it was gonna be a sparring day, so we're before you spar, you just kind of play around with the other guys, and I'm just like, I'm gonna play around with this little dude. Hey Corey, come on, playing with this little guy. Hey, this dude jumps over here, jumps over here, jumps over here. I swing at him, miss, miss, miss. He hits me, hits me, hits me. I'm like, yo, why is he not stop moving? And I was like, when those kind of guys like frustrate you to where now you at first you didn't want to throw power. They put your weight around. You use your weight. Now I'm looking at this dude like this dude touched me one more time.
Yeah, I'm popping.
But yeah, that's how good Corey Sanhagen is, and I do think he set himself apart to be next in line for that title shot. All right, moving on to the next fight, Henry Cejudo. We've got your boy Kelvin Gastelum taking on Joe Pyfer or Pyfer, whatever you guys like to, whichever floats your boat, you do that. I mean, I feel like this is a fight where UFC set up to where it's like, hey, both of you guys got to show me something because whatever the last outings were not good. Both of you have an asterisk right now to your name, and it's time for you to go out there and erase it. Am I getting that? I'm getting that feeling, Henry. Am I wrong here?
No, you're right, dude. I think with Pyfer and particularly him. Can you pull up his stats real quick? I want to say he lost his last fight to.
Remember he was supposed to fight.
Yeah.
Remember he was supposed to fight in Mexico City.
Yeah.
And something happened.
Yeah.
And he chose not to.
Yeah. So he had a hiccup with her Manson, and of course it was too. But I'm gonna tell you something right now, bro. Everybody got sick, dude. So I believe him. I believe that everybody was sick, dude. That food in Mexico, bro, had everybody shitting their brains out for like days, bro. Me, Dilly, my wife, like everybody that went on that trip with us. So I do believe Joe. I do believe Joe, including a lot of the UFC stuff. So I will defend him on that. But man, I just feel like with Kelvin, man, with when the lights get bright and they get brighter, bro, Kelvin just tends to be there. I'm gonna go back and talk about the time where he fought Jacare Souza, where he fought, you know, he was an underdog. When he fought when he didn't make weight and then they gave him that army guy. What's his name? Jimmy Kennedy. Is it
Kennedy.
Kennedy?
Yep.
Is it what's his first name? Kennedy?
He's fought Tim Kennedy, I
Yeah,
believe.
Tim Kennedy. I mean, Vitor Belfort, man, he
Michael
ended up knocking out
Bisping.
Michael Bisping. I mean, he's knocked out everybody, and I just feel like there's something different and special about Calvin in that sense. I mean, I would have loved Pyfer in Mexico City, but I just feel like Calvin's size and his stature, if you don't pull him away, bro, like you talk about the Mexican spirit, yeah, that shit could just carry over, and I can see him getting his hand raised.
Well, so you going with Kevin?
Well,
Kelvin, maybe?
it's Kelvin, not Kevin,
Kelvin?
but I'll make
I
sure.
said Kelvin. I corrected it. um,
I gotta go
yeah,
with
this,
Kelvin. I like Joe Pyfer too, bro. Like I became pretty, I like that dude a lot, man.
yeah,
But I gotta go with my boy, man. I'm like, if I can, Kelvin's like one of my best friends, dude.
yeah. This is a tough one because I believe both guys need to show up. Pyfer, his back's not necessarily against the wall, but I think Kelvin's back is against the wall here, and it's been before a couple of times, and he's been able to rebound. And so, if he's done the work, I don't see why this one is not the same for Kelvin. I don't see why he doesn't get this done, and I think it's going to be a change for a guy like uh, Joe Pyfer fighting a guy that's as bouncy, as athletic, and as small as Kelvin Gastelum is. So I'm going to go with Kelvin Gastelum on this one as well. I think he has the ability to get it done. You know, so I'm going with Gastelum. Now moving on to the co-main event of the evening, the fight I'm looking forward to the most is Julianna
Really?
Peña, the Venezuelan vixen, taking on Kayla Harrison.
Wow, wow. What I see with this fight is, I mean, obviously Juliana. This is the thing with Juliana, man. She doesn't have the hands, bro. You know what I'm saying? And her
Don't
grappling
say
doesn't.
that.
The grappling doesn't match well with a girl with a two-time Olympic champ, dude. I like Juliana. And I don't know if she's mad at me. I saw her in Miami, but she kind of, I don't know what the hell's going on. But obviously, I think as an analyst, we always got to analyze and tell the truth. I think that's the biggest thing. They're both similar in age, similar in reach. Obviously, Kayla's southpaw, while Juliana's orthodox. But man, there's a dog and there's an experience in Juliana Pena. But I just feel like the fact that Kayla Harrison to be able to win the Olympics not once but twice. I mean, I ain't trying to do all these anytime push-ups like she wants me to do, but I think she's gonna. I think we're gonna hear at new.
Yeah. No, this is listen, you saying she ain't got the hands on her. No, I don't say that because Juliana Pena stood with Amanda Nunes, and Amanda Nunes we can say is the most devastating female striker we've ever seen. Besides obviously with respect to Joanna Jacek and Rose Namajunas or whatnot,
Yeah,
but
Valentina.
Valentina, and of course Jermaine Durandamy, no longer with it in the UFC. But
Natalia
I
Silva.
think, I think Amanda Nunes set herself apart, but Juliana Pena was not afraid. She was able to go in there, bring that dog out of herself, and submit the GOAT, the GWOAT, or whatever we want to call it, the greatest female fighter we've ever seen in the UFC. So Julie, and then not only that, loses the title, comes back and wins it back in a fight that many people thought, oh yeah, Raquel Pennington is going to beat her. No, she came back and she won that title back. And so both these ladies have been chirping at each other for some time, and now we get a chance to see it. Now we get a chance to really see a real rivalry in there again, Henry. It's like feel like yeah, the UFC, it's a company's business, but now we get a chance to really see a rival. Women that they talk the talk, and now they get a chance to go in there and walk the walk. So
Yeah,
I'm
but
not counting out Juliana Pena at
yeah,
all.
Yeah,
in
but
any way.
Can I tell you something too, Kamaru? There's something that we got to consider too.
What's
Is
up?
could Kayla Harrison make that weight correctly? Because with
She's already showed us she
age,
can. I'm not going to
no,
bring that as a factor anymore. She
but
showed us she can do it
but
twice.
she's only made 35 one time.
Twice she's made the weight.
Are you sure?
Holly
What?
Holmes, Caitlin Vieira.
How come you say Holly Holmes like she's like an essay?
Not Holly Holm.
Well, now you said
Holl.
not yeah, but now you said Holly Holmes. You said
Yeah,
Holly
Holly Holm.
Holmes. You said Holly
Holly
Holmes.
Holm.
Holly
Holly
Holmes.
Holm.
Hey,
Yes.
vato loco.
And not just Holly Holm, she went out there and did it against Caitlin Vieira. So she
Yeah.
has proven that she can do it. And so I'm going to take that as an asterisk out, as a question mark out, because she has to now go out there and show us she's a professional. Yes. So you're not making 136 anymore. You have to now make 135. Now make it Kayla Harrison. And if I had to pick, I'm going Kayla
Ooh,
Harrison.
that's
Good job.
exactly what you just said. But she's disciplined, bro. Again, it has nothing to do with Kayla Harrison's discipline. It has everything to do with their body and how it reacts, bro. That's all. This girl's dedicated, man. You don't become a champion like that, from fucking eating potato chips or watching Oprah or watching Love of Hip Hop or Flavor Flav. She's in that position for a damn good reason. That reason is, she's a two-time Olympic champ. It
Yeah,
ain't
she lives a.
wrestling. It ain't wrestling though, Kamaru. But
Okay,
we don't want to
okay,
get
you
in.
talking now.
We don't want to get
You
into it.
all right, you talking now, but you was gone when she was here. So, but no, Henry, I think Kayla is as driven and as dedicated as anything and as anyone, and I think I like both girls. I like their style. You can never count out Julianna Pena, never. But I have to go with I have to go with Kayla Harrison here. I think she's on a mission, and I think she has a chance to get it done. But now we get to the reason we are in Newark, New Jersey on June 7th, and it's for I would say right now one of the most entertaining fighters in the UFC, one of the most entertaining skit maker in the UFC right now, Merab Dvalishvili. I
Yeah.
think, yeah. I mean, Henry, you tell me how you feel. You've fought one of these guys.
Yeah, Marab's gas tank is just different, bro. And I personally feel like his level changes. He has to fight the same fight, but just stay away from the right hand, stay away from that front kick, and he's good. If he can protect his body, keep his hands up, it's a fight that only Merab could lose. But this is MMA, bro, and if they're giving Sean another opportunity after getting 50-45, I mean, he does have a chance. He does have a chance because he doesn't have to go through Corey Sandhagen. He doesn't have to go through the top five division to get back to the title. You know what I'm saying? So this is just he's getting a little silver platter. But could he do it? Could he get the job done? Of course. But he's gonna have to do it within those first two. Because if he doesn't, it's gonna be the exact same fight. And Marab's confidence of knowing what he could do to him and take him down is just there. So for that reason, I have Merab Dvalishvili via decision, all 5 rounds, 50-45.
Yeah,
Am
this is
I
an intriguing one.
wrong? Am I
This is an intriguing one,
wrong?
Henry, because I saw a breakdown where Sean actually kind of broke down the fight, and it made a lot of sense to me. But the one thing about Sean that I over the years I noticed is just the way he breaks down these fights, the way he computes these fights and processes them and spills it back out to his own psyche, his own mind. Obviously when he had lost that fight and he was walking around saying he's undefeated in the UFC, he felt like that, and he went out and he performed each and every time after that like that, and so he really feels like this fight was up in the air. It was closer. He says it's closer than everyone thinks, and when he breaks it down, it's like, oh, really? Because yes, of course, he did get taken down and held down, And taken down and held down for almost 5 rounds, but significant damage? Did he really take any really significant damage in that fight? And so when you start to kind of think through that, I'm just like, man, this guy is right here. But I think the way Merab's confidence after getting through a fight like Umar Nurmagomedov, which everyone, all of you, including you, constantly said he was going to lose that fight. There's no way. After getting through a fight like that, and you still making it like I think he has solidified himself as the champ. He's carrying himself as the champ. He's still training just as hard. I think it's going to be extremely difficult to grab that belt off of him. And yes, I do think Sean definitely would prepare differently. Sean is probably even more prepared because he's felt him now in this fight. But ultimately, I just think Merab right now, from riding off that confidence from that Umar fight, I think Merab gets the job done.
Yeah, exactly. I think we both see it. I think the biggest deal with O'Malley is, did he formulate his camp correctly? Again, there's a lot of birdies out there. I'm gonna say here, pound for pound, he's just working jiu-jitsu. He's not working his get up, his stand up. He's not investing in his camp. Like he's not bringing in guys for money. He's getting all these Arizona kids that have big mouths. That's just the thing. No, it's true. It's true. That's true. It's 100% true.
I don't think money's an issue. I mean, you got Ferrari, you got Lambo,
but that's what I'm saying. But that's what I'm saying. It shouldn't be. But to him, he just wants to keep everything. I don't know. Maybe he's cheap. He wants to keep everything like in house. And when you do that, Kamaru, shit gets out there. That's the only reason. That's the only reason why I know some of these things. So people, listen to me. Bet the house. Merab Dvalishvili via damn decision, 50-45.
Well, I think it's going to be an incredible fight. I don't think Sean is going to leave any stone unturned in preparation for this fight. I think he's going to come ready. And if he's as ready as he is, and he's a sniper, if he's able to snipe some, he might be able to shock the world again the way he did to Aljo. So, but I do think Merab right now has solidified himself as the champion. So I'm going to go with Merab for the win. But Henry, we have a very interesting question from a casual, and this has to do with obviously the big situation that happened during the main event of the evening this last weekend, Macy Barber versus Aaron Blanchfield. And Henry, questions from a casual. Obviously, leading up to a fight, Henry, do you guys ever feel that pressure to where you may or may not want to fight, Henry? And we don't really know exactly what happened this last weekend, but one can only kind of assume that something happened back there to where Macy just, I guess we were told she had a seizure or something back there.
Yeah. And it's a two-part thing. I felt like that before too, but it was more because it was in Mexico City, and I had like food poisoning, bro. And I remember warming up like super, super hard to the point where I was trying to kind of beat the altitude, but you cannot do that. You cannot just beat the altitude or into you. It's like you either gotta do it or you or not warm up as crazy. It's just pretty much your warm up is your fight. So I felt like that before, and then two, there's been times where I didn't fight because of embarrassment, because of missing weight, and obviously being the Olympian at that time, being the gold medalist, and having to kind of show face to people. I was like, you know what? I'd rather not even have an advantage and not even fight at all. Obviously these girls were bickering back and forth. Not necessarily. No, it was more of my. It was more of me. It was more of me giving a fair shake to the guy, not having to have any type of weight advantage, right, on him to where they can use it against me. So you know what? Fuck it. My stomach hurts. I'm out. I went to the hospital.
It was a very confusing situation, as you saw, and they interviewed Aaron Blanchfield after the fight, and she wasn't wrong really in anything that she said in that interview. Erin Blanchfield put it out there because look at it. Like on Friday, Macy missed weight by half a pound and didn't get the go back to try to get it off, I guess. I don't know. I wasn't there, so I don't know the exact situation. That was just the headline, is that she refused to get the half a pound off. And so the fight already didn't start in a good way, that, you know. And so when Erin Blanchfield was asked, she said, you know, and I quote, she needs to look at another division. She needs to fix her life. She needs to fix herself. I think she's a mess in every aspect of her life. I mean, the crazy thing is, I got to see Macy Barber training for this fight. She was working hard. She was training really hard. She had great training partners, great drill. I saw her do great drilling. And
Okay, Macy Barber. Is Macy
she's
Barber
in
out there in
Colorado.
Colorado?
Yes,
Now? Is that what
she's
you're
in
telling me?
Colorado, and she works out at high altitude. So I got a chance to watch her train and looked great. So all this was kind of, I mean, obviously there's been different things that have led up to this all throughout her career that kind of putting a black eye on everything. But yeah, missing the weight and then not showing up. We don't know what happened back there. Erin Blanchfield was told she had a seizure. And Henry, you were told, like you mentioned, sometimes you get those jitters. Hey, we all get those jitters. You about to walk out. I got to pee. I got to poop at the same time. I don't know what's going on. Do I need to poop or pee? I'm like, yo, what's going on? You scared? You excited? You anxious? Sometimes that flood of emotions can be too much for some guys. There's some guys who that, you know, they get to the arena. Some guys, there has been guys that hasn't made the walk. You know, everyone thinks, oh yeah, because everyone's so spoiled with just watching us go out there and do these things, they don't think that we deal with these nerves in the back. We are all human and we deal with all these nerves. And whether it's a panic attack or whether it's something, sometimes once you get in that rabbit hole, it's very hard to come out, especially when there's a clock on you saying, all right, 5 minutes, we're walking, 4 minutes. When you get in there, it's very, very difficult to crawl out. And yeah, we all get nervous back there, Henry, but I think that's part of being a professional. That's part of us being in the UFC, the biggest, most recognizable organization in the world. Is when you get on this stage, hopefully you have done all the work to be able to hone in on all of those jitters, all of those feelings. So you are able to go out there and look like a professional in the biggest organization in the world. And so if that's what took place, then, Erin wasn't necessarily wrong. Maybe Macy needs to see a sports psych or see someone just to kind of help her hone everything in. But that was not a good look. It wasn't. Even the UFC was stunned.
Yeah, but yeah, no, for sure. But can I tell you something to Kamaru? You just never know the
Absolutely.
situation, bro.
Absolutely.
That's just one thing that we all have to consideration. Like obviously, look, I go back to what happened to me, and I've always been that shit talker.
What happened to you?
I've always been.
You got two good eyes, Henry.
But you see what I'm saying? It's almost like it's humbling because we do want to go to that round and say she bitched out, but the reality is if she's having a seizure and it's confirmed, bro, like who the hell are we to judge that? If anything, we should be setting freaking prayers and making sure that this isn't something that's going to happen periodically.
DC did that last night.
Even if it is the jitters.
You're absolutely right, Henry. We don't know what happened. We're not saying she bitched out. I'm not saying that at all. I'm just saying.
No, but I guarantee you, in everybody's mind.
Who's everybody?
The
fans that think you bitched out when you couldn't see in your fight. They're not in there.
I could just see too many.
So no, that doesn't matter. The thing is, if she's dealing with something or if something's wrong or something went wrong, then yeah, that's what I mean. Like maybe seeing a sports psych to just kind of get her recalibrated so she can come out there because she's shown brilliance in there. There's a reason the UFC trusted her to give her a main event slot. She's shown that she can go out there and deliver and do it. So, we don't know what happened this time, but hopefully she's well. And like DC said on the broadcast, we pray that everything is good with Macy Barber, and hopefully we see her back in there. Aaron Blanchfield, they asked her if she want to re-entertain doing this fight again, and she said no, and I have no problem with that. I think she's like, yo, I trained this hard, and then I'm
Yeah.
good.
And the UFC's they're probably not even gonna pay. They're probably not even gonna give her anywhere
So
near her fight as her show and win
who
money,
knows?
dude.
Who knows? Hunter was there, and Hunter is usually a really fair guy, so we'll see what happens there.
Yeah, he's
But
pretty generous. Yeah.
that was a question from a casual. Crazy situation. Like I said, I answered it. Sometimes I feel like I gotta pee, I gotta poop. You don't know what's going on. When it's
You got the turtle head. The turtle head's
Pause. What? Jesus, Henry. Come on. Nah, that's you from all them bean burritos that
pause. Pause. See, now we stereotyping
my bad. Hey, you said it. You love beans and rice and burritos. Don't. But Henry, that is our question from a casual. And stay with us until next time. And don't forget, man, UFC 316 going down June 7th. Dvalishvili taking on O'Malley 2 and Julianna Peña versus Kayla Harrison 1. Right? Juan. All right, Henry. As always, I am the Nigerian Nightmare, Kamaru Usman.
Henry Cejudo, a.k.a. Triple C.
And we are out.